Chiba, Japan. Madonna Louise Ciccone stood backstage at the Marine Messe, moments away from walking onto a stage that would change the relationship between performer and audience forever. The Blond Ambition Tour wasn't just a concert series, it was a theatrical revolution disguised as a pop tour. Over the next 4 months, Madonna would redefine what live performance could be, transforming concert stages into art installations and proving that popular entertainment could be profound, provocative, and transformative without sacrificing commercial appeal. But this revolutionary tour began with rejection and controversy that nearly prevented it from happening at all. MTV had banned several of Madonna's recent videos, religious groups were calling for boycotts of her music, and conservative politicians were using her name as a symbol of everything wrong with American popular culture. Instead of retreating from the controversy, Madonna decided to lean into it, creating a tour that would address every criticism while refusing to apologize for her artistic vision. The creative partnership with Paul Gaultier was crucial to everything that made Blond Ambition revolutionary. Gaultier wasn't just designing costumes, he was creating armor for a cultural warrior. The famous cone-shaped corsets that would become the tour's most iconic visual element weren't just fashion statements. They were weapons in Madonna's war against conventional expectations about female performers. Every outfit was designed to challenge assumptions about femininity, power, and the relationship between clothing and identity. Working with choreographer Vincent Patterson, Madonna developed a performance style that borrowed from Broadway theater, contemporary dance, and avant-garde performance art. This wasn't just about singing songs and moving around the stage. This was about creating complete theatrical experiences that told stories, explored themes, and challenged audiences to think about art, gender, and power in completely new ways. Each song became a mini-drama with its own narrative arc and visual language. The staging for Like a Virgin became the tour's most discussed and controversial segment. Madonna's interpretation transformed the song from a pop confection into a meditation on desire, power, and the complexity of female experience. The choreography was deliberately provocative, designed to force audiences to confront their own assumptions about female expression and artistic freedom. Conservative critics condemned it as inappropriate, while progressive voices praised it as groundbreaking feminist performance art. What made the tour truly revolutionary wasn't just its provocative content, but its artistic sophistication. Madonna wasn't shocking audiences just for the sake of creating controversy. She was using provocation as a tool to communicate deeper ideas about art, identity, and the possibilities for human expression. Every element of the production, from the lighting design to the costume changes, was carefully calculated to support these larger artistic and political goals. The technical innovations of Blond Ambition influenced concert production for decades. The multi-level stage design allowed for complex choreography that moved audiences' attention vertically as well as horizontally. The use of video screens, theatrical lighting, and costume-driven narrative segments created a template for how pop concerts could function as total artistic experiences rather than simple musical performances. The tour's treatment of gender and identity was unprecedented for mainstream popular entertainment. Madonna presented multiple versions of femininity throughout the show, from vulnerable ballad singer to aggressive pop warrior to sophisticated cabaret performer. She demonstrated that female artists didn't have to choose a single identity or stick to conventional expectations about how women should behave on stage or in public. Working with a predominantly male dance troupe added another layer of complexity to the tour's exploration of gender dynamics. The dancers weren't just backup performers, they were collaborative artists who helped Madonna explore themes of power, desire, and the fluidity of traditional gender roles. The relationships between Madonna and her dancers became part of the performance itself, creating moments that challenged conventional ideas about leadership, collaboration, and artistic hierarchy. The documentary Truth or Dare, which chronicled life behind the scenes during the Blond Ambition Tour, became almost as influential as the tour itself. The film showed audiences a side of touring and celebrity culture that had never been documented before, revealing the personal costs and psychological complexity of maintaining such an intense level of artistic and physical performance night after night. The international response to Blond Ambition varied dramatically depending on local cultural attitudes and political climates. In some cities, Madonna performed to enthusiastic audiences who embraced her artistic vision. In others, she faced protests, government censorship, and threats of legal action. These varied responses became part of the tour's narrative, proving that art could still be powerful enough to provoke genuine political and cultural reactions. The influence of Blond Ambition on subsequent pop tours was immediate and lasting. Artists across genres began incorporating theatrical elements, narrative structures, and provocative content into their live performances. The idea that a pop concert could be a complete artistic statement rather than just a collection of songs became standard practice for serious performers who wanted to be taken seriously as artists. Behind the scenes, the tour was physically and emotionally exhausting for everyone involved. The level of precision required for the choreography, the emotional intensity of the performance content, and the constant media attention created a pressure cooker environment that tested everyone's limits. Madonna's perfectionism and artistic vision drove the production to ever higher levels of excellence, but at significant personal cost to herself and her collaborators. The business impact of Blond Ambition was as significant as its artistic influence. The tour proved that audiences were hungry for sophisticated, challenging entertainment that respected their intelligence while providing spectacular visual and musical experiences. The commercial success of such an uncompromising artistic vision opened doors for other performers who wanted to push boundaries while maintaining mainstream appeal. The legacy of Blond Ambition extends far beyond concert tours and popular music. The production's integration of high fashion, contemporary dance, theatrical storytelling, and popular music created a new model for how different art forms could work together to create experiences that were more powerful than the sum of their parts. Art schools, fashion designers, choreographers, and theater directors all found inspiration in what Madonna and her collaborators had achieved. Looking back 30 years later, the Blond Ambition Tour stands as a watershed moment in popular culture, the point where mainstream entertainment proved it could be artistically sophisticated, politically engaged, and commercially successful simultaneously. Madonna didn't just perform songs during those 4 months in 1990. She demonstrated that popular culture could be a vehicle for serious artistic expression and social commentary. The young woman who walked onto that stage in Chiba, Japan, wasn't just launching a concert tour. She was beginning a cultural revolution that would influence how artists, audiences, and critics thought about the possibilities for live performance. Blond Ambition proved that pop music could be profound, that entertainment could be art, and that audiences were ready for experiences that challenged them while they entertained them. The revolution that began on that stage continues to influence performers who understand that the most powerful art often emerges from the courage to risk everything in pursuit of authentic expression.